Pick one of these animals to win in an all-out fight against each other. Which one do you think it would be?
Is there a time limit on
No,
this?
take your time.
Okay.
I think the 5 gorillas.
Call me crazy, 7 bulls. I think 7 bulls could do it.
I think the 3 bears could do some damage.
It's gotta be the bears.
The 7 bulls could do it because they have agility and they're probably angry.
They look pretty scary.
They're crazy. They're lethal. Well, I guess it depends the kind of bear.
I see them as like found family, you know, like Goldilocks.
That's like one of its primary uses, but I think there's a lot more darker uses that are not highlighted often.
I've never played the flute before, and I was a little scared.
Spun around, it really, I thought I was gonna grow a hula hoop around my waist, and then 2 ankle bracelets went on my...
Stay here? Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna fucking switch up into Pink 11.
I cannot stop thinking about this. What would you do if your goal was to spend more time scrolling on your phone? What would that add to your life? What would it give you more of? What benefit does scrolling offer you?
Very severe and continuous slaps.
And that's a crazy binary to be choosing the entire time, you know? And it's like we're hyper-connected and we're lonely, we're overstimulated and we're numb, we're objectifying ourselves and we're expressing ourselves, so.
It's very hard to actually foresee accurately what's going to happen with the internet because it's growing exponentially.
If this were
you
real,
really have no idea
you
how
would
wide
have
the parameters
some
are
sort
going
of
to get
emotion
at any given time.
instead of standing there like a rock.
Why are you all so against everyone? Do you know how anti-human being you've been raised to be? You've been conditioned to believe that things are only valuable if very few people do them.
Foresight is not very it's a bit short, I think. I think we really have no idea what we've started.
That did cross my mind, but you know, VR is a way to escape, you know? Like I can be a frog.
Am I model pretty, popular pretty, photo pretty, real life pretty? Am I pretty? Am I beautiful? Tell me I'm beautiful! Tell me I'm beautiful!
The modern technological environment, as overwhelming as it is also just too deeply ingrained in our society to ever just go away without a catastrophic collapse, a collapse that would destroy the pillars of our new virtual world. Even if personal preference makes you want to go back to a time when things were simpler, that just isn't a feasible possibility anymore. It's something we have to learn to live with. It's a part of our reality. French media theorist Jean Baudrillard had a term fittingly called hyperreality, where he described a situation where real life and the media situations of our real life become inseparable from each other. Things meant to serve as representations instead become the only awareness that we have, and our perceptions of reality are shaped by the media rather than by direct experience. What's fiction and what is real, while distinguishable, can no longer be separated. The most notable example of this can be found in how many ways our own lives have become fictional content. YouTube vlogs, TikTok Get Ready With Me videos, and particularly in influencers. There is a desire to entertain others with the content of our own lives. Some have found great success in this, making millions of dollars and launching themselves to newfound fame. Influencer is a goal to aspire to, often the leading dream job of kids. But when one becomes a public figure, especially on the internet, the communities that form around them begin to treat them as if they're fictional. And most public figures will admit to playing a character of sorts and exaggerating certain aspects of themselves when they're on camera. But if the people around you treat you like characters with shipping and fan fiction and character art, and they think of you like a character and you act like a character, that doesn't just go away when you stop recording. You can become both real and not real. And this, of course, comes with dramatic consequences. One of the most prominent examples of this is cringe culture. Cringe often little more than an excuse to bully and be mean to people that are either mentally unwell or different. But it's very common on the internet. As soon as someone does something embarrassing, it gets millions of views, is spread around, and everyone looks at it to feel better about themselves. And for some, this unwarranted attention can destroy their entire lives. The most embarrassing moment is all they will ever be known for. And if they could just turn off the internet and step away from it all, it wouldn't be a problem. But they can't, and we can't. Yet, for a lot of us, to become fictional may not seem like a bad thing. It's a common thought process. People want to treat life like a movie. There's a reason superhero merchandising is so popular, whether kids in a Superman shirt or police using the Punisher skull. We want to be the main character. Because the idea we're part of a story is comforting. The idea that there are good guys and bad guys is comforting. The idea that our lives have a defining arc that builds up to a resolution is comforting. The idea that there is great evil that can one day be overwhelmed and good will win is comforting. We want to be the people, either good or morally questionable, who change the world. But the stark truth is that our world is not a movie. It does not build up to anything, and you cannot just banish the evil at the end of the day. Our world is one of fools, liars, idiots, well-intentioned people poisoned by bureaucratic systems, intricate repeated cycles of abuse and wrongdoings committed by all sides ever. And in the desire to accept fiction as reality, it's all become blurred together. Accepting that the internet is part of reality doesn't mean we have to say it's good for us, because it's not. And that's what a lot of these core videos have shown. A shared awareness that this isn't healthy. This continual flow of information can overload our brains. We're not meant to experience all of this. We're not meant to get a constant feed of war crimes, shitty jokes, political activism, devastating personal experiences, and everything else you can imagine condensed down into 15-second bits before we move on to the next thing. We hear about every major negative thing that happens as it happens. And as we have been for most of history, we're not ignorant to the suffering of others anymore. Rather, we suffer with them as much as our empathy can allow. But, for better or for worse, the internet is not going away. To turn it off and step away doesn't solve anything, it just ignores it. But with that, there comes a feeling of helplessness. Like there's truly nothing we can do, and as someone who likes to tell stories, it can create another question. In a flood of content, how can anything I create truly matter? And the answer is that it can't. Not by itself. Our world is shaped by others, but it's also shaped by us. A relentless sea of individualism that leaves us fractured, alone, and scared, fighting each other and separate. But if and when hundreds, thousands, millions of people come together, that's when you can see the greatness that the internet does. That's when it becomes a mosaic, something beautiful built by the masses. And as much as there are external forces pressuring us, we hold power. I started this video by showing this image and asking a simple question. Which of these animals would win in an all-out fight against each other? I chose the 10,000 rats.
10,000 rats. 10,000 rats for sure.
Oh, the rats win. I'm so sorry. I thought they were peaceful animals in the bottom left one. No, the rats would win. 10,000 rats, absolutely.
Some animals may be bigger and stronger, but 10,000 of them? That many working towards one common goal is near unstoppable. There's not much you can do if 10,000 rats have one common goal in mind.